Hey, what's up? So, I'm doing this video to talk about manifestation techniques, like, being able, different techniques. I'm not gonna like use it all because I be feeling like some people are already kind of like, what? But at least I kind of want to talk about a few Mercury retrograde right now. Manifestation techniques. So things you can do to help assist you in your manifestation process, right? Because like, who doesn't want to manifest things? Okay, so let's just break it down real quick. All right, like I said, I will do multiple videos on just any particular topic. I've had people already say that they want to see me cover more topics like this. But so I just kind of want to start like with just breaking down manifestation, or like to manifest something, just to keep it simple. Like if you could just keep it simple as this, it's just understanding that to manifest something is just to physically access something. You have it in physical form, and to each of us that's something different. Now somebody that reads charts a lot, okay, and understands that where people are working with certain restrictions and the levels of those that we have access to when it comes to this material realm, by way of our birth chart, how you can differentiate like what manifestation may look like for you, but I'm a firm believer that yes, we can definitely exceed certain aspects of our birth chart as we master what the chart is trying to teach us, and where we're seeing blocks and where we're seeing limitations at. What is the overall prime lesson that those energies and those placements are trying to teach us or become aware of, okay? And that way we start to act different and do things different. We change our mindset, our perspective on things, and then that's a manifestation process or technique as well. But, what I wanted to say, when it comes to manifesting, right, you got to keep in mind that we are always manifesting something on an unconscious level. At an unconscious level, or subconsciously, we're always manifesting something, even if it's just as simple as our day is going to go bad, okay? There's so many times where I started off and I was just like, by the way I woke up that morning, I'm like, nah, it ain't no way. Like, it's going to go bad for me. I could just tell I didn't feel like waking up this morning. Yeah, it's not going to go good. But since I have been practicing being more conscious of my thoughts, I'll quickly catch that and be like, nah, you know what? It's not so bad, because it could always be worse. And I think about ways to where if something little happened, let's say I'm expecting something not to be easy or go so good. And then, so I'm thinking that it's not, or I'm expressing that in some form or fashion. How I turn it around is I'll look at, like, as things happen and I see it play out, I'm like, okay, yeah, that wasn't so bad. Okay? That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Then I'm like, I actually speak that. I'm like, okay, yeah, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's actually going pretty good today. And I start to notice that the environment around me matches that. Or literally, people don't get on my nerves as much or whatever. Okay, so, but this is just me consciously being aware of what it is that I am, experiencing. Okay. Because being consciously aware of it and unconsciously aware is two different things. So we can manifest stuff. So this is the thing. We can manifest things like just subconsciously manifest things. And, you're thinking about something, or you that could be, not that it's subconsciously, but I'm just saying you could be thinking about something that it's not even on the forefront of your mind. This is just something that you think about, and it could be over a period of time. It could be over a short period of time. It could be over a quick period of time, whatever. But it comes about, and you're like, dang, I was just thinking that, or this is something that I always wanted, but you don't know how. You just know that you got it or you achieved it or whatever. And then you have those of, you have others that purposefully or intentionally manifest things. It's isolated situations to where they specifically identify, they think about it, like they put their thoughts towards it. Okay, they feel like it's going to happen. Another form of faith, but I feel like it's more deliberate. Okay, but they feel like it's going to happen, and then they even sometimes start to do the things that's going to align them up with it happening. Like you cannot. Now, sometimes subconsciously manifesting stuff, you manifest it quicker or you manifest it better. Because especially if it's something that you don't have any thoughts, you're not thinking about this on a day-to-day basis, to where you start to limit that manifestation. You're just kind of like thinking it like, boom, this is what I want to happen, and boom, that's what happens. Like you don't have, notice like the more you want something to happen a certain way or to go a certain way or to come about, the more focus, more energy, more thought that you're going to put into it. And as you put that, you consciously put those thoughts there and those feelings, you start to think things like, oh my gosh, this is not going to happen because A, B, or C, they'll never choose me because I'm not good enough. Like, oh my gosh, there's other people that has way more experience than I do. Blase, blase, blase. The more it's out of your grasp. The more you're looking and you're like, well, how did this person get this, or how did they do that? It's because you're consciously, or you're wanting something, but you're putting all these other blocks around you. It's like it's there, you're here, it's there, but it still seems out of reach. It's because the thought process a lot of times is putting it out of reach. That's how the universe works. It's like kind of like the more you want something sometimes, the more you try to get it. Kanye said it the best. He said, when you try hard, it's when you die hard. Okay? When you try hard, that's when you die hard. And this just goes into correlation with manifesting so significantly. So what you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that you have an intent. If you want to consciously do this, you have an intent. What is your intent? What is your goal? Okay. Another aspect to it is you want to be very clear about that. Like your thoughts surrounding your intent or your goal has to be clear. I'm going to tell you right now, and there's so many things, I promise you, sometimes the more complicated it seems, the more you're going to get in the way of this. Like you have to really, really make sure that your thought, you have to not care about the outcome of that thought. You get what I'm saying? You have to be able to say, okay, boom, this is what I want, and this is how it's gonna go. Well, not this is how it's gonna go, because see, that's what you're supposed to be able to say, but I don't want to tell y'all that because I don't want y'all to get stuck on if it's not showing up in a certain way. But this is what I want, this is what I'm trying to reach. Okay, this is what I'm trying to get. And my thoughts around that is going to be, that is what I'm trying to get. Now, I will also advise you to not be trying to get things, okay, and that you don't need to be getting, it's not going to benefit you either way. Like this is coming from within, and this is about come from a place about how you can better yourself. If it's something like you're manifesting a mate or a spouse, like I strongly say you gotta be like, you have to know what that looks like. And you can say what that looks like. You can request it. But the best thing that I've noticed when you're talking about working with the universe and like how things work, a lot of times the universe is kind of going to give you a reflection of what's inside of you already, or something that's going to help you understand or comprehend that and what's inside of you already. Okay. And that could be something that you want to involve yourself in, or you don't want to involve yourself in. But either way, when we start manifesting, we're manifesting people and stuff come from within. Be like, okay, well, these are the qualities that I want in somebody because I can give these qualities to somebody. And still, you're going to get a version of that possibly depending on, because we all have free will. Okay. But that's just a little example about manifesting people. I don't really I feel like if you know, let's say like if you know there's a situation and you're like, okay, well, I know like maybe me and this person or this situation, like we match or it may work, but at the same time, there's obstacles around that. And usually the obstacles around it is stemming from certain things like insecurity or just, certain blockages that we have from within that we're trying to work on. And those obstacles get in the way to clearly manifest what it is that you're looking for, and you're asking for those obstacles to be removed, then the issues will come up. The situation will come up, and the blockages and obstacles around that will come up. Don't worry about it. And then you can determine more if this is what I want more of, do I want to see more of this or do I not? Now, just period, get out of the way. And you got to check your feelings every now and then. Because sometimes, most times our thoughts produce these feelings. And we're thinking things that's not even really happening. And if it is happening, we usually have more power and control over ourselves in the way that we respond, right? And that's a whole nother video, but I'm just saying, we do. That doesn't make us purpose, and we're still going to listen from day to day, because the more, as you see, the more that you level yourself up vibrationally, people are going to come after you. You can purposely try to stay away from these mofos, and they will still come after you. They will be obsessed. They will follow you. You can hide from these mofos and they will find you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when I'm saying that, I'm saying like literally, like the people that you want to stay away from, they will find you. You may not know that they're finding you or not, but they will. Because the more that as your vibration change and the more that you level yourself up, the more that you are noticed on a vibrational level. And even though you don't want to be, you can want to avoid things and situations like people. You could be more introverted. People will find you some kind of way because they want some of your light. They want that attention. Now, that's a whole other video. I'll do that separately. But what I'm saying, okay, let's get back on the manifestation part. A lot of times, like our thoughts, we start producing these feelings surrounding our thoughts, and that makes it real to us, as human beings, living on this planet in physical form. We can easily deny our thoughts. We can be like, okay, well, you know what? Well, we did a shift in energy. Now we're in the Aquarian age. It's going to be hard to deny our thoughts, right? But, usually it's okay, well, I'm thinking this, it may not be real, but it's like once you feel something, then you're like, dang, it's real. This is even why, like, in politics, they got to get behind that mic, you know what I'm saying? And they gotta get people in their feelings about certain things, because that's when it seems real. That's, even though I'm not saying that things are false or real, in a sense to where when it comes to the feelings, I'm just saying that it's like, it makes things real. It's like that stamp of approval. If you go and you see, the stove on and it's burning, you can tell yourself, dang, I think that the stove is hot. But if you go and you touch it and you feel it, you're like, okay, the stove is hot. I got some burns, in the process of feeling the stove. This is what I'm saying. So manifestation is the same. It's like you have to control your feelings. Because your feelings, people say your thoughts can confuse you, but your feelings can confuse you. Because you're thinking one thing and you feel like, okay, well, I know what this is. But then you start producing these thoughts, you know, around that of what you know. And then you start producing feelings around it. Because the feelings is like, okay, well, you know, I want to keep myself safe. You know, what if this goes wrong? What if I'm not good? You like the feelings, and then you start to believe. You're thinking this, but you're feeling it. It becomes real. You're like, okay, yeah, this is how it's going to go, and it's not going to go good for me. So when you're manifesting, you got to keep that clear. And it gets to the point where you got to check yourself. You got to check yourself. You got to be willing to be like, oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking this way again. I'm feeling these. I can't do that. You have to change your thought process. And it changes things around you. Now, I'm going to go out and I'm going to say this. And we're in a new world. So even this may not be a limitation, but just depending on what you have access to at that time. So let's say you're manifesting a new car. You may manifest a new car, but that new car may be like $25,000, where $25,000 versus someone that may manifest something at $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you have access to. But at the same time, I'm not saying that a person that has access to manifesting a $25,000 car can't manifest a $100,000 car, but maybe they get a deal or something. You know? But my point is that, you know, you're working on it's levels to this, because on the spiritual side of things, it's gonna keep testing you to see like where you're at in your manifestation, especially once you dare to say, I'm consciously manifesting. Basically, you have to match your whole thought process, your you have to be vibrant. Like, you have to match, you have to be in alignment with what it is that you're manifesting. Now, this is what I'm saying. So basically, when you become aware of something, right? When you become aware of something, that's when you become responsible for it. So we can subconsciously manifest things all day, you know, but once we put ourselves in a position to say, no, I consciously want this, then now you're held to some sort of higher standard. Because it's like, okay, well, then are you aware of what it is that you're manifesting? And then what happens is there's certain levels to that manifestation. You get some people that's willing to sacrifice things for, you know, to try to to gain that what they're manifesting, and that's a whole different story. Like, people don't like to believe this stuff when they talk about like sacrificing and stuff like that, but it's real. It's real. And this is where you start getting yourself in a bind. If you're really coming from ego and you're really coming from too much pride, sometimes you can get yourself in situations to where you're affiliated with things, you're doing things that you didn't even have to do, if you just learned yourself. And some people, they got too many barriers up. They got too many belief systems surrounding their ability to become the magician, their ability to manifest. So another technique is breaking down certain belief systems that we have, that's acting as like a fence, a barrier, a guard, whatever, like to what it is that you're manifesting. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. Because the thought process is going to be the biggest part of manifesting. And another technique that you can use is visualizing it. Like, even if you're not good at visualizing, you gotta have that way about yourself to where you put it to the side. Like, it's not, you gotta watch your thoughts until you're a person that can get to the position to where your thoughts don't rule you. You rule it. Then that, and it's hard to do for a lot of people. That's the place that you got to get to consciously manifest something. And you got to be in alignment with it. Because a lot of times when we're consciously manifesting something, it operates a little bit differently. Because you could be like I'm trying to manifest a business. But you're going to have to actually put that business together. You have to actually work on that business. You get what I'm saying? Versus like, I'm trying to manifest a trip somewhere. You know, you probably not even have to think of, you don't even have to think about that. You could just be like, dang, I want to go to the Bahamas or something. And the next thing you know, you might get offered to go or something. Hey, somebody comes up with a free ticket. Now, I have done some manifesting of my own when it comes to things. Like, you can listen, it doesn't matter. I'm not even talking, like, it could be something as simple as working out a situation with a bill, homie. You know what I'm saying? But you get tested on these things too. And I would like to say that the more that you can work on yourself, a very good, one of the top manifesting techniques is self-awareness. Because you will intuitively know like what you're in sync with. You know, it's not going to fool with you the same way. It's not going to be something that deters you because your mind presents a challenge to you. You can easily just say, no, okay, I know this is something subconsciously I've been working with, I've been trying to deal with, that's getting in the way of what I'm trying to manifest. And I choose to not let it. Okay? So get your clear. What is it that you're trying to manifest? Is it meant for you? Should you be manifesting it? Like, really, what you're trying to manifest, get clear on that. Watch your thoughts surrounding it, what it is that you're trying to manifest, okay? And your feelings will also produce the results because it has to feel real. And you gotta, there's another big thing. Don't overthink. And listen, I'm telling you, it's very hard to do. Now, if you can be a person that's like, you can overthink something or you can think about something, think about it in a good way. Like, put a good spin to it if you cannot help but think about it. That is going to determine what the type of results that you get. Now, I'm not saying it is easy to do, but just try some of these techniques, okay? So, yeah. Manifestation. Okay. So, all right. This is, been another video. I'm definitely coming back, all right? And I would love for you guys to come back and join me. And you feel free to add any type of topic or any type of input that you want to add concerning this video in the comment section. And, you can feel free to email me if you want. All right? So I'm Butterfly the Light, and I definitely will be back.